The sometimes idyllic-sounding lives of the rustic folk often disguises the hardship that was ever lapping at the door. The Rev J. Fraser toured the villages of the Cotswolds, reporting on the desperate conditions of some of the poorer inhabitants. There were hard times around Fairford and in the Cotswold villages during the hungry 40s, and the poor found it difficult to subsist, even on the rudest fare. With wheaten flour at a prohibitive price and barley meal costing a guinea a bushel, what were the labouring classes to do? Yet live they must, and it is not to be wondered at if they took to poaching and stole a sheep now and then in order to satisfy the raging hunger within them. Hedgehogs were a common article of food. Badgers also were eagerly hunted and devoured, and the nimble squirrel was frequently trapped, cooked and eaten by the woodmen and labourers. Mr. Harvey of Horsley says the agricultural labourer was badly off about 6 months ago. He now gets 8 shillings to 9 shillings a week in summer, some men as high as 10 shillings with their beer. The Reverend Boris Burland, who was present when I took this evidence, informed me that in his district, containing about 400 houses, there must be at least 50 families as badly off as this. I certainly hardly ever saw a district with more marks of poverty about it. Many of the cottages ruinous and unfit for human habitation, a low wage rate and a correspondingly low social and intellectual condition of the people. A great number of apparently truant children, a great aversion on the part of some of the worst-housed old people to take refuge in the workhouse, though they would be infinitely more comfortable there. For those at the bottom of the pile, though, the dreaded workhouse was the only option. As the district is purely agricultural, the inmates of the Union workhouse are chiefly of that class. The average wage of the day labourer is 9 shillings a week, and as it is a matter of impossibility that the man and wife can bring up a family and save out of this for old age, even if they do get a nice little cottage and a bit of garden for £5 a year, it is but natural that they should end their days here when work fails them through old age or sickness. There were many more old men than women in the house the day we were there, and we heard from the matron that the old women can postpone their coming in for weeks or even months by the variety of work they can put their hands to, whereas the men can do but one kind of work, and when that fails, all is over with them. The children here, as at other workhouses, are almost all illegitimate. The orphans, 12 at present, are boarded out in the villages round about. A lady visitor is supposed to pay constant visits to the several homes and keep a supervision over them, in order that the little ones may be well treated. One of the great obstacles to a child's well-being in a workhouse is that just as the matron and teacher are beginning to see a decided improvement in a girl or boy, the mother may come and take them away, and after exposing them to every kind of foul living, bring them back again. It makes the reclaiming and teaching them well-nigh hopeless. 7 workers' children, whose emigration to Canada has recently been the subject of negotiation by Baron de Ferriers and his co-members of the Emigration and Boarding Out Committee, have started for their new homes. Went to see old Caroline Farmer and read to her the latter part of Luke 7. On my way thither I fell in with a boy in the lane named George Wells. He was going to beg a bit of bread from a woman who lived at the corner of the common under the 3 firs. He said he did not know the name of the woman, but she knew his mother and often gave him a bit of bread when he was hungry. His mother was a cripple and had no parish relief, sold cabbage nets, and had nothing to give him for dinner.